Money Matters Monday. Tom Hartman joins us today talking about really how not to break the bank at Christmas, I think. Morning, Tom. Welcome.
Good morning. How is everyone this morning?
Good. I'll answer on behalf of everyone. Now, going into Christmas, we really are there now. It's December. And, people can feel quite stressed and, fear for good reasons. What are some good tips to help us get through this silly season?
Well, you're so right. Like we are here right now, and there's no real point, making any types of a long-term plan. This is it, and so the goal is get as much Christmas joy with as little debt as possible.
Oh, I love that. I'm all for that.
That is essentially the goal of this season, and there's a few different things that you can do that. There are things that you could do this evening, for example. There are things that you could do over the next week, and there are things that you can do next week. Some of the things you could do tonight is just make that list, check it twice. It's really about sticking to a list and to keep spending on track. It really keeps us focused. But there's also, when we make a list ahead of time, you can actually find cheaper alternatives that give maybe even more joy. And so the idea is that we're really squeezing the most out of that spend. And other things, when we're making a list, we could stick to gifts that people, and especially the kids, actually need. I mean, they need books, they need togs, they need shoes. The kids need lots of different things that really could be taken care of in terms of Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
The other thing you can really do, this evening over the next week, is really do a lot of comparison shopping. There's so much information online, and we're doing a lot of our shopping online, but it doesn't take that much for a few more searches and just to get the best prices that are out there. Also, we still have time, to plan a lot of DIY gifts.
DIY gifts are great. Last Christmas, I think it was, a couple of my nieces and nephews, like they're flatting and that. And I was like, I'm going to give them a plant. So I just bought a cheap pot. I got the soil from my garden. I did a clipping, and it was one that I knew that would grow, and it was quite easy to grow.
Yeah.
Ironically, it's actually a weed that looks like a nice plant, but they didn't know that. And it was a good feeling. They were like, oh, awesome. And I'm like, yeah, great. That didn't cost me much. And you get quite a kick out of making things and, pulling things together yourself.
Yeah, entirely. I mean, you just think about how much love you can pour into something, some baking or something like that you can make for someone else. I mean, it brings a lot of joy to yourself, but obviously to the person on the receiving end.
Yeah, just going back to the kids one, thinking about people, who have got kids or, grandkids, nieces and nephews. So they're not in, not in your household, that you're actually asking the parents, right? Hey, what does Jimmy need? Well, actually, yes, he does need a new beach towel, rather than just getting them stuff and surprising, like you say, more plastic piling up. Like, let it be a gift, like you say, that's actually useful, right?
Yeah, I've always been in awe of how lots of times the kids, especially the real little ones, get more value out of the box than the actual toy itself. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorites, Lizzie, is homemade vouchers, and one of my favorites was, along with some stemware, my sister-in-law gave a voucher for, lifetime cleaning of these, very nice wine glasses.
Well, she's going to clean them for you and take care of them.
I think he was a bit prone. Her husband was a bit prone to breaking stuff, so it worked out well there. But anyway, homemade vouchers, lots of good value.
Yeah, I mean, you could offer babysitting or doing the gardening or cleaning the car or mowing someone's lawn, whatever it is, right? Those things are all really helpful.
Yeah, the main thing where we're trying to get through this season and really with as little debt as possible, because we want to set ourselves up for success in the new year too, right? We're going to it's so much about the holidays right now, but there's going to be that afterward, that time that many of us are trying to get through, which is more holidays and set up the new year, back to school, all that other stuff is still going to come. So we really want to get through with as much Christmas out of that spend as possible.
One other thing I think that people need to be aware of is not trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? I was talking to somebody recently, and it was like a family and then the in-laws of the brother or sister or something. And you know, one family was in a much stronger place financially, you know, pretty affluent. These other people were just sort of average. And so these other people would, you know, everything was really expensive and all the rest of it. And the others would feel this pressure that, gee, wish we didn't have to sort of give presents to everyone. Well, you need to say that stuff, right? Like, hey, guys, this is what we're doing. Or just, I can imagine there would be, you know, saving face. But you just can't do that to your bank account, right? If you're not in a position, don't do it.
Yeah, and in fact, that's a lot of times what gets us into even more debt is just keeping up with other standards that others set for us or we set for ourselves, trying to compensate. The thing to remember is that any sort of comparison like that really robs joy.
It does.
From us.
Yeah.
It really steals that joy away, which is the opposite of what you want, especially during Christmas and the holidays, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good point. Hey, well, Merry Christmas to you, Tom.
Oh, and to you, Lizzie, and to everyone listening. This is fantastic to be with you and talk about this.
Also, just wanted to say a special thanks to you because this is our last interview for the year. You and I have been on the radio together every Monday morning for I don't know how many months now. I've really enjoyed our conversations and valued your contribution to the show. So thank you so much, Tom.
It's been great to be a part of your work. Thanks so much for having me on and for talking about sorted.org.nz and all the stuff that we have there for people that's free.
That is the place to go. sorted.org.nz. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can catch all our interviews on Star. See you next time.